Hello and welcome to this Friday webinar. Today to talk about applied yogic science for preventive and promotive measures. We have with us Dr. Mantu Saha sir, who is Additional Director DIPAS DRDO Delhi. आपका बहुत-बहुत स्वागत है sir. You are heartily welcome in this program.
नमस्कार मैडम, नमस्कार.
We also have Director of Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga, Dr. Ishwar V. Basavaraddi sir with us. आपका भी बहुत-बहुत स्वागत है sir. We also have Communication and Documentation Officer of MDNIY, Mohammad Tayyib Alam sir with us. आपका भी बहुत-बहुत स्वागत है sir. Now, as per the tradition of our institute, let us start the program with prayer. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. It is a matter of great pleasure that Dr. Mantu Saha sir, Additional Director DIPAS DRDO Delhi, has accepted our invitation and he is with us to talk about allied yogic science for preventive and promotive measures. I once again welcome you sir. आपका पुनः एक बार बहुत-बहुत स्वागत है. I would also like to welcome Director of MDNIY Dr. Ishwar V. Basavaraddi sir once again, जो अपने व्यस्त कार्यक्रम में से समय निकालकर हमारे बीच आज पुनः मौजूद हैं. आपका भी एक बार पुनः स्वागत है सर. I would also like to welcome Mohammad Tayyib Alam sir to this program, and now I would like to request Mohammad Tayyib Alam sir, Communication and Documentation Officer of MDNIY, to deliver introduction of guest speaker. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Vandana. Good evening, everyone. Respected Dr. Mantu Saha sir is a Regional Director, DIPAS, DRDO, Scientist Chef and Head of Exercise Physiology and the Yoga Laboratory, DIPAS. He is a collaborative project coordinator of Morarji Desai Institute of Yoga, Central Council for Research in Yoga and Naturopathy, DRDO. Sir has more than 30 years of research experience in DRDO projects in the area of human performance improvement strategy in extreme climatic conditions. Sir is a recipient of Professor S.R. Mittal Memorial Medal Award in Physiology in 1990 and National Science Award DRDO 2015. Sir has more than 100 research publication. लेकिन इससे भी बढ़ के बात यह है कि सर का जो नाता है MDNIY से वो बहुत पुराना है. हमारे जो भी वर्कशॉप है, सेमिनार है, जो हमारे एक्टिविटीज़ है, उससे बहुत क्लोजली सर जुड़े हुए हैं. हम जब भी सर को किसी चीज़ के लिए बुलाते हैं, सर कोई ना नहीं करते हैं. थैंक यू सर फॉर एक्सेप्टिंग आवर इन्विटेशन फॉर दिस Friday webinar. Now with these few words, I would like to request respected Dr. Ishwar V. Basavaraddi sir, Director, Morarji Institute of Yoga, to say a few words about today's topic on applied yogic science for preventive and promotive measures. Sir.
Om Shanti Shanti. Very senior physiologist and excellent scientist from DIPAS DRDO, my esteemed colleague and friend Dr. Mantu Shaji, my colleagues in the institute, Shri Tayyib Alamji, Dr. Vandana, faculty members, student friends, yoga enthusiasts, joining this webinar from different parts of the world through various social media platforms. My pranams to you all and also hearty welcome to you all. Before talking about the topic, today's speaker is chosen by the merit of his contribution for yoga physiology and yoga research. I have seen Professor Mantu Shaji from last more than 17-18 years before, and I have seen the growth and also the interest he has taken in yoga research. It is commendable. And the second aspect is a wonderful human being and very, very sober, polite. Though he is having the highest scientist post in the DIPAS, he never shows that, and is very humble and very down to the earth personality. That made me to very happy to associate with Professor Mantu Shaji. Why I am mentioning these character of Professor Mantu Shah? He not only did research on various dimensions of yoga and its applications, but he adopted and inculcated the values of yoga in his personality. Some of them are already ingredient in his personality, but some of them he has inculcated over the years. That's why he's more dear to my heart. And also all the faculty members, my colleagues in the institute, always very happy to be work with Professor Mantu Shah because DIPAS and MDNIY from the more than 3 decades working together on various dimensions of yoga and its research. With this background, DIPAS did a wonderful, commendable job since 18 on the performance improvement, yoga at higher, and many of the applications of yoga has been widely identified research over the years. Here, they have taken the art of yoga in a very scientific perspective. Therefore, the scientific community can accept the so-called benefits claimed by the yoga practitioners or yoga teachers or yogis, which has been widely demonstrated, researched, and presented. That quantify the knowledge that attracted the particularly the scientific community and the medical fraternity towards yoga. So here, everybody knows that yoga is a preventive medicine, no doubt about it. And how it can prevent? Suppose a person having the family history of diabetes or ophthalmic problems or cardiac disorders, anorectal problems, they are prone for such type of disorders in the years to come or in the days to come. Suppose if they practice yoga systematically, it may be delayed or it may be prevented. I'm telling you the prone, but whoever practice yoga, and if you have a controlled group, yoga has been prevented them from being the lifestyle related disorders. It has been demonstrated over more than 6,000 to 8,000 research papers in different peer-reviewed journals published. And as a promotive or the performance improvement, you may take, it's also promotion. Not only at physical level, at the mental level, emotional level. So totally it's a personality development. If you have taken, yoga has a big role in the promotive measures, and they have been documented, especially by the DIPAS scientists. So that's why the today's topic and the speaker my colleagues chosen, Dr. Vandana and Shri Tayabji, was very appropriate and suitable. And definitely, I do hope that this lecture is going to be throw new lights on young students, and it will motivate them to do some fundamental research, some scientific research, clinical research, so that they themselves start believing the system. Unless we have the evidence, we don't have the belief. You start believing it, you practicing it, and you advocate the yoga protocols with much more confidence. With these few introductory remarks, I once again thank Professor Mantu Shaji for his esteemed presence and accepting our invitation to deliver lecture on applied yogic science for preventive and promotive measures. I request Professor Mantu Shaji to deliver a lecture on the same topic. Professor Mantu Shaji.
Thank you, sir, for saying so many good words. Really, I am thankful to you, Moraji Desai and National Institute of Yoga, for giving me this opportunity to share the real science, what we have done it in extreme climatic condition on healthy people, and that is my topic today. So yoga nowadays is just I'll show my slide. Yes. Okay. Next slide. So today my topic would be applied yogic science for preventive and promotive measure. Yes. Nowadays, yoga is the greatest thing that we can give to the system, and that system may be in the family, workplace, and the country. And the factor is that how healthy we are. If we are optimally healthy, completely healthy, then improvement will always be happen in all spheres of our life. So in that way, it's a proven science, and it is also one of the traditional gift to the whole world by our Rishi Patanjali, 2000 BC, 200 BC, and he shared this Ashtanga Yoga, that is Yam, Niyam, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahara, Dhyana, Dharana, and Samadhi. So in short, I would like to show these things. And then it is a steady posture, consists of musculoskeletal stretching, then pause, and then return to normal, followed by comfort to body is known as asanas. So asanas basically, just very brief, I'll go inside, that is how differently we have given the postural names. That is, it is a Sanskrit word yuj, means to combined. And now I'm giving you the concept of asana, that is the science of connecting breathing and musculoskeletal stretching. So breathing, that is controlled breathing, and musculoskeletal stretching with mind, and for maintaining sound health and fitness. So this is the concept of our yoga today. And the background is that it is an ancient Indian culture. Not only culture, it is also one of the tradition and science in the whole world's best holistic healthcare system, and where there is no budget is required. So this is a good thing, and it maintains always a very good body homeostasis by combining and synchronizing all our body system. So I'll come later that what are the all body system like cardiovascular, respiratory, endocrinal, immunity, flexibility, musculoskeletal, respiratory, central nervous system. So it synchronizes all these things and given us a very good, you know, mental balance with good body homeostasis. So now I'll come then next thing that asana, it is mainly what we are doing, that is the meditative posture, relaxing posture and cultural posture. But the way we evaluate it is sitting, supine, prone, inverted, balancing, combined series of chain, series or chain of asanas, that is Surya Namaskar. So in that way, we can say that it is a combination of controlled breathing, focused visualization, musculoskeletal stretching, mind concentration and relaxation. And the stretches are often known as poses. And that poses are also as important as the stretching. So posing during the yoga include arm stretches, back stretches, chest extension, head rotation, hip twist, leg lift, leg stretches, resting on back, shoulder, and spinal twist. The relaxing time or pause in between the poses as important as the stretches are. So this is in a very brief nutshell. I just given you the concept of this asana. And now again I'll go that today's topic is yoga, how linked with preventive and promotive. There is also one factor that is the curative, but it prevent if we practice and our main user is using this as a preventive medicine because the extreme climatic condition they stay for their tenure and here preventive measure is much important than any other factor. So there it prevents obesity, high blood pressure and undue musculoskeletal pain disorders, and it improves immunity also, so I'll come later on, and improves lung function. So this is the prevention because when a person all of a sudden from 50-degree temperature to go sub-zero temperature just within few hours, so see the adaptability of the body, and if there is no preventive action, so the body cannot prepare to adapt this new challenging atmospheric condition and climatic condition. So much important yoga in applied, that is the preventive aspect. And then it comes, there's the curative and then promotive. Okay, curative means somewhere it also reduces stress, lung blockage, help in controlling diabetes, control BP. And then in promotive means it reduction of visual comfort, discomfort, and then improvement of attention, increases positive attitude and decreases negative attitude. That is a mood. I will come later on in all detail that how biochemically and other way it maintains all these things, improving sleep, neuroplasticity, delays aging, relaxes mind, improves autonomic balance, then maintains health and fitness in adverse environmental condition. One of the main thing is that when in some cases fitness is the main process, okay, so that fitness also can be maintained as a promotive factor in challenging condition for the person who is living at any type of atmospheric challenging condition. Okay, so now here I can come that how our all systems are correlated. So here we can see that the yogic effect, what we have seen, it is system to subcellular level. System to subcellular level means if we see that there is a pain in muscular system, so there must be some neurotransmitter releasing. If there is a fatigue problem, so there is something lactic acid is formation much more. If there is sleep deprivation, so there is a lack of dopamine and serotonin. If there is a stress level high, so the cortisol level is the main factor. So all these things we have to take a note down, and there is a short duration advantages and there is a long duration adaptation. So we can classify it as acute and chronic. And yoga always gives as an end product of rejuvenating our energy level, parasympathetic dominance, that reducing the sympathetic and stress level and stress management. But whereas if we do our 1 hour exercise and if we do 1 hour yoga, you can feel easily that exercise leads to fatigue and production of lactic acid. But whereas if we practice yoga, it gives us energy, rejuvenate our body system, and capacity to work much more than if we do an exhaustive exercise. But yes, both are required in a timeline. Where it is required, we have to do, but yoga can give you an all-round holistic healthcare mechanism. So here, yoga is always, combination of muscular, skeletal, immune, nervous, reproductive, cardiovascular, respiratory, endocrine, then digestive and urinary function. So all these things in a synchronized way, there are around 10 systems I have shown over here, but few others also minutely works when you do yoga, that is mind concentration, musculoskeletal stretching, and other areas also. So that to be also taken accounted for. And this whole system synchronously function in a very systemic way, maintaining a good homeostasis of our body, so that we can get a very good effect of yoga if we practice yoga regularly. And the areas of yoga research we do in our institute, that is, high altitude. It is an extreme climatic condition of sub-zero temperature with less oxygen density, and desert. It is a hot, humid, intolerable desert storm. So this is the another condition. Antarctica is a absolute quarantine, that is isolated social life, and with a lot of fitness problem. And then microclimate in some places like bunker, submarine, and other areas, cockpit, and all these things. So there is a always you are in a very much sympathetic tone, and with a very confined your posturing, balancing, and then health promotion, how we can work efficiently 24 hours in our own workplace, and stress management. So all these things we have validated scientifically, and we have made a yoga booklet, and it is being used at the unit location. Unit location means where our user, that is armed forces, are staying. So we go over there, we collect the data, we give the training and see the effect of yoga. Okay, so this is in a very nutshell that what we are doing, because it takes much more time. And now I go enter in the science of yoga. So the science of yoga means it is a scientific basis of yoga involving human anatomy, physiology, that I have said, and it is the optimal functioning that also I told. Okay, now it is the intellectual and practical activity encompassing the systemic study of the structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation and experiment. It is the science, and the science of yoga, a help to understanding how yogic practices help in providing a stable body homeostasis. And nowadays, I'll show one by one that how yoga is a proven fact for giving you all round, body fitness. Physiological parameter, main parameters, what we record as the effect of yoga, and that all standardized. Now we can see that here physiological parameters are the anthropometric parameters, lung function, musculoskeletal, cardiovascular parameter, and cold tolerance, because these are the very much needy parameter in the field what we are doing for our armed forces. And then endurance means, yes, it is also required to measure their aerobic, anaerobic, and oxygen consumption factors, that is called O2 kinetics, their recovery, their fatigue factor, and their endurance level. So these are also we measured at different location, what is their need and what is their lacuna. And mental also, see, there are some areas where the cognitive function impairs. and it may not function as per the requirement. So this psychological parameter and brain and cognitive function also we measure for the subject and participants who are doing yoga. Before and after we do measure all these things. And biochemical, that is macronutrients, antioxidant, oxidant status, stress hormones, and neurotransmitters. So here we can see that these are also one of the main factor for the measurement of actual status of the body. Like a person, if he express that he is happy, he has no problem, he can good sleep, and he is having good mood and all these things. So it is an external expression. But to justify this external expression with actual fact, then we have to measure the stress level like cortisol. We have to measure good sleep factor, that is serotonin and dopamine. We have to measure whether his antioxidant level is okay or not. And if he's suffering with so many factors, then we have to measure immune function of the person. So this way we can measure all these parameters and we can conclude almost that whether the person is maintaining a good homeostasis, body functioning as far as job requirement and the challenging weather condition. So this is the parameters and the institute where I work. This is the DIPAS, and this media has given that this is available in the website, that this is the only institute is doing yoga for science and science of yoga. And you can see the person sitting here is doing the poses of yoga, and his mouth is covered by a mask, and that mask calculates breath by breath, oxygen consumption, carbon dioxide output, ventilation, respiratory quotient, his energy expenditure, and respiratory rate. So this is an online real-time method so that we can easily measure that the energy level and the oxygen, that is the main factor of our body for body metabolism, and the waste product, that is carbon dioxide, how it is giving and how it is going on in a body internally. And then also externally, we are also measuring, you can see that blood pressure, SpO2 level, and other factors also, including that. And apart from that, we also measure EEG and their HRV. These are the main two factors that gives us the insight of their brain function and the heart function. Another one, we also take that cognitive function test by 6 battery of the system, so can the person's learning ability, cognition, and the memory function. All these things can be measured by applying these parameters, and these are all scientific. And now I can go that how it helps to us in a general way, that cardiovascular parameter, what we have seen, blood pressure, heart rate, back strength, and I'll come red pressure product, and it also reduces in certain conditions where it is to be increased, but it doesn't increase, it reduces. And the peripheral circulation and SpO2. So if I say that SpO2, last 2 years, we are very much, comfort, and we very much know about the system that during pandemic, few parameters we know very well, that sleep deprivation, their oxygen saturation level, that is SpO2, their immunity level, that is vitamin C, E, and antioxidant level. So anxiety level, their reducing fitness level. So all these things we have seen in a pandemic situation. But our institute, long before this pandemic situation, in 2012, we have already taken the data, and it has been published in a very reputed peer-reviewed journal, that yoga improves oxygen saturation, yoga improves sleep condition, yoga improves immunity factor like vitamin C and E, yoga improves antioxidant level, Yoga improves lung function. What we have seen in pandemic situation, the deterioration of lung function. And then yoga reduces the stress level by measuring cortisol. It reduces, and also improves the antioxidant system. Yoga nowadays, we are just. I'll show one Department of Science and Technology short promo which is available. That in a very short space and confined environment, yoga improves our endurance activity. Surya Namaskar, if we do, but Surya Namaskar we have validated by increasing and reducing the pace, and that pace has been validated scientifically with a rhythm, and scientifically it has been validated with the bicycle ergometer and Surya Namaskar. So the paper is to be already published, and it will come in this month, and the scientific evaluation process are being in the website, that is the Science of Surya Namaskar. And one more thing, we have established that the minimum duration for the improvement of lung function for a healthy person is only 6 weeks. So by practicing 6 weeks by our customized yoga module, one can improve the lung function. So lung function means there is a medical term, Tiffany index. Okay, so the Tiffany index is a ratio between FEV1 and FEV. So if it is 70 to 80%, it is optimal. But if it is alters, then your lung function is being restricted. So there must be some blockage. It has to be checked. And if checked, if it is found, so if a person regularly practices yoga, that index will be improving. And that is the science. That is the science of yoga. That is the science of promotive and preventive measure of yoga. So if one does it, there is no factor of this Tiffany index. And one more factor is there. That is the myocardial load. Okay, so myocardial load is a very clinical factor for the cardiology and cardiac, concerned diseases and all these things. It is the ratio of heart rate and systolic blood pressure, that is rate pressure product. So yoga, if we do yoga, we have done it, and we have found that this factor reduces after yoga practices. So these are the very application of our yoga module. I'll come in a data just after a few words, that once if we do yoga, it improves antioxidant level. So during this pandemic and in normal condition, if we go for high altitude, there is a natural tendency of reducing the antioxidant factor. So if one does yoga, then the person's antioxidant level can be in an optimal way, so that he could not suffer with the dangerous body reaction, that is reactive oxygen species, ROS. So this is the thing, one can do yoga and get the all benefit over it. So we have seen this. There are the factors like sleep deprivation. So sleep deprivation factor can be, many vices by practicing yoga, because yoga improves dopamine and serotonin. Okay, both the neurotransmitters responsible for improving sleep quality, improving good mood, and reducing your anxiety and stress level. So in that way, yoga scientifically can be, evidence based. That is, it is a preventive and promotive measure. So I have few, these videos. If I get time, I'll show that one. That is the Science of Surya Namaskar. It is available in the website from our institute, and it is explained that how oxygen consumption, their energy level, it stage by stage, step by step, it's analyzed, and it has been validated with the endurance exercise on bicycle ergometer, and now it is to be introduced, because scientifically it is a proven fact that Surya Namaskar can be a substitute for the endurance activity. And that's what we have done it in a real-time process on breath by breath technique. And here I can count, and if it is possible, in between I can show that promo and that how scientific yoga we are measuring in our laboratory. So if I do not show them, then it will be an incomplete factor. So here we can see that scientifically is preventive for your body weight, body surface area, and then body mass index, body fat percentage, body circumferences, and the trunk, neck, hip flexibility. So in certain confined environment where flexibility need to be optimum, okay, and their flexibility also need to be very much important also, because movement requires their flexibility and their muscular strength, a grip strength and back strength. You can see here before and after all the parameters improved. So yoga, after doing yoga, it is a proven fact that it improves all our anthropometric and other flexibility parameters. So it has been published and it is a published data. Now we can see that improvement in ventilatory function through yogic practices. What I said just now, that is the Tiffany index. You can see the Tiffany index on healthy person. It is not, our data never concerned with any therapeutic or something treatment basis. It is on healthy person, so that this data can be used as a validated data. And here you can see that FEV1, it is improved, their body weight, and it is controlled, their forced vital capacity also improved, and their SpO2 level also improved. Okay, so MVV also there improved. So these are the factors. And what I said just now, this is the endurance level. So we have direct method. We have seen that aerobic and anaerobic performance improved through yogic practices through bicycle ergometer, which has been published in British Journal of Sports Medicine. And here you can see the data level. Yes, yoga can improve directly. There is no indirect method. Whatever data we are presenting, it is our own institute data, and all data is not a derived data, it is all direct data. So here, like that, it is a very high impact factor journal, and here it is proved. Now we can see over here that SpO2 level, VO2 level, all these things, SpO2 level, what we have seen in the pandemic situation, it improves after yogic practice. And then we can see that another level in a age-wise, we have seen that heart rate reduces, blood pressure reduces, mean blood pressure reduces, and just now I said that is myocardial load, that is rate pressure product. See how beautifully it controls our myocardial stress in the heart. So clinically, it is a proven fact, as a promotive fact, as a preventive fact, that yoga controls, yoga prevents, and gives a good health of our cardiac activity. Triglyceride, HDL, LDL cholesterol, that is the good cholesterol, it improves, and the bad cholesterol, it reduces. Okay, so here you can see that significantly the parameter improves age-wise. So there is a factor of age-wise also. So what we are, improvement intensity, what we are seeing in the lower age, it may not be in the higher age, like 20 to 29 and 40 to 50 years. In between that, they are balancing the data level. So this thing also we have seen. And then just now I said that the stress level hormone, that is the epinephrine, norepinephrine, and cortisol, ACTH. So these are the stress hormones. You see the stress hormones, epinephrine, it reduces in all the age group. Norepinephrine, it reduces in all the age group. Cortisol, it reduces in all the age group. And ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormone, it also reduces all the age group. But the good hormone, neurotransmitter, which gives you a better sleep, that is dopamine and serotonin, always you will find that it improves as a factor of yogic practice. So it is a proven fact. It is a preventive and promotive factor that yoga can improve our good, neurotransmitter level, and it reduce the stress level hormone and neurotransmitter. And if we go in the downward table, here we can see that yes, depression, that is the HRV, that is high frequency and low frequency. Here you can see the ratio, always it is, going below one level after yoga practice. So that is a very significant factor, that if your, stress level goes below one level, that is your good thing, that yoga gives you a very good controlling of your anxiety level, your depression level. And then you can go other factors also. Here also you can see the improvement of the heart rate variability level. Okay, so these are all published paper in a very reputed international journal. So these data are very valuable. So we have also seen that yoga also improves brain-derived neurotropic factor. Okay, so brain-derived neurotropic factor, one way, it restricts aging, and it has been cited more than 10 international, media and all these things. And here we can see this may be the very good, contributory factor for age restriction and stress control. So this is a preventive action for your age control, and this is also promotive action that you can memory control also. So wherever there are some areas where your memory get lacunae and hampered, so if we practice yoga, it maintains and balances our memory function and all these things. And also we have seen in a very stress level, Antarctica, this may be the first study we have given the customized yoga packages for the expeditioners, and we have done two sets of people who is not doing yoga and who is doing yoga. So there we have seen that the cortisol level of yoga group always in a stable factor, but non-yoga group, it also fluctuates, improves, but anyway, there is a factor that it also giving a very good signal. And in also thyroid, the T3 also giving a very good, responses by controlling of the yoga group. So these are the, these things we can correlate. Extreme Antarctica condition means pandemic, extreme quarantine condition. Okay. So if quarantine condition, we do yoga, then we can, get the benefit of this parametric expression. And at high altitude, we do our research work in an extreme altitude condition in, Changla. It is situated around 18,000 feet with a good laboratory, with all facilities, and we do, test, we do record real time of our, armed forces, those who are over there, and also we can take our soldiers from other places also to test, to know their physiological conditioning and how they can be benefited by other parameters also. And there's the management, what we have seen through yogic practice. So if we, if we give yogic practice at the sea level before going to altitude, it can control their AMS, like acute mountain sickness, headache, breathlessness, nausea and vomiting, lack of appetite and sleep, dryness of mouth, nasal congestion, fatigue and giddiness. So all these things can be controlled if we practice yoga before going to high altitude. So we have seen it in a controlled and experimental subject that yes, yoga can, control all these things before going and after going. The study has been done on all these parameters, and in desert condition also we have seen in hot, humid, hot and dry condition. If we do along with other practices, Sithli and Sithkari, then self-cooling process, and it has been come in a one this abstract, it has published, and more validation is going on. So Sithli and Sithkari in field condition where temperature is around 50-degree hot. So there, if we practice all these things with other because this thing we have validated, and now we are making a very good these validating yoga packages for them, and this is the thing we have found, and it has been databased, and our data, our study has been published like if we do yoga, then 50 cell, that is the age restriction factor. Then regular yoga can slow down aging in brain. So like this, so many things has come. Then yoga packages to reduce BP of jawans, this has been done on armed forces. And then we are organizing yoga training for defense wing stuff, and we also take their other parameters. Now yoga reached to Antarctica. This is our endeavor, that we have introduced yoga in the Antarctica. And nowadays whatever situation is that if one practices our customized yoga module and Antarctica, it is over there, and they are really getting benefit as reported. These are the other factors. And as we see that the extreme confined microclimate, those who are staying is the astronaut. And from India, we have proud that our first astronaut practiced yoga, and also, you know, got the benefit of it during his stay at the space station. So this is the thing what we have done and we have known. And last, pandemic management, it works as a preventive medicine, as a preventive measure. Whatever data I have seen, so right from you have seen that immune power, vitamin C and E, and antioxidant, then control sleep deprivation by serotonin and dopamine, reduces stress by reducing cortisol, ACTH, epinephrine. It also improves sleep pattern, and then it also maintains your body fitness, reducing weight. So all these things, yogic benefit, we have shown in a publication. And we have also formulated a yoga for improving immunity, a package for prevention COVID-19 on the basis of our different parameters. We have also given a product, Dip Covan, 2-deoxy deep glucose during pandemic. And yoga sessions are organized regularly. This is the COVID care center. The biggest COVID care center has been developed by DRDO in Delhi, and yoga has been covered over there. So before this is the summary, it has been reported that practice of yogic asanas and pranayama reduces sympathetic activity, thus shifting the equilibrium towards parasympathetic dominance, which in turn helpful in controlling undue hypertension and stress, and helpful, and then reducing sympathetic overactivation. Research established with the importance of anti-stress and antioxidant effects of yoga and meditation. Pranayama and rhythmic breathing practices are known to improve tissue oxygenation. That is the main thing. Oxygen delivery to the tissue and oxygen consumption by the cell. So it also improves. So this is the in a nutshell. And if time permits, I would like to show one or two very short duration video, so that visually it can be a good demonstration that how my institute involves yoga research. So I just would like to know the organizer if there is any time, because I feel that time is running out now. It is 10
Yes,
minutes.
yes, sir, you can.
I can know. Okay, just wait, ma'am. Just that video. Just I'll show two videos. Uh, this- it is visible, ma'am. Ma'am, it is visible.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. This is the science of Surya Namaskar. This is our institute, and this is the yoga center. So here it is in a very brief nutshell. I can show. It is a promo. The whole program is 45 minutes, and it is available in the net. This is our laboratory where we do, validate Surya Namaskar. And you can see that the person is validating Surya Namaskar, and So this is a full video available in the website. And one more, that how science is being recorded of yoga in our institute. So ma'am, 1 or 2 minutes more. This is 1 minute available in the India Science. And another one is that I just will show, that is the yes. So this is our whole DRDO yoga, video. Here you can see that how it can be, I think there is some problem of the sound, but you can see here that it is a 5,000 years old science, but how it is linked with the DRDO. So this is DRDO, how it is linked with it. So here you can see that this is the soldier. They are doing yoga and they are also performing their daily activities. And this is the laboratory. Am I audible, ma'am? This is the laboratory
Yes, sir. Yes,
where
sir.
we do our real-time method recording of other activities. And here you can see this is the laboratory, and online recording are going on over here. So you can see the treadmill, the person is sitting over here, and all the parameters you can see, these the parameters are being recording over there. So this is the way how we can record the parameter in all way. That is the oxygen kinetics, their blood pressure, their other factor also. So here you can see that yes, yoga can be an inevitable and a good way. This is available also in the website. So here also we can see that yoga can be done uh, in a very good way. And this is our inside picture where we do practice and validate our yoga module for final, giving it with the booklet and giving to the uh, soldier system, so that they can practice uh, this thing. Okay, so here also you can see that yes, they are doing yoga at very extreme climatic condition. We do take our own, yoga instructor, scientist, and this data also, like whatever parameter we take, we also take the equipment, so that we can see the data level, the responses at the field condition. See, there is a difference between the data and responses in field condition and in homely lab condition. So actual and validated data can be obtained only in the field condition, and we do take almost 99% data in the field location. So you can see that these people are practicing yoga, and we'll record that yoga just before and after the practicing of it. Okay, so here you can see that yes, they are doing yoga in a very good way. Okay, so now you can see this is a different context, and this is the Antarctica, where these people are practicing yoga in a sub-zero temperature outside. See, this is the person who is doing Antarctica. This is on ice. They are doing yoga, and background it is the Indian substation Bharti. So you can see the this is a flag of our own, and yoga has been practiced by the expeditioners, and we have got the data from these expeditioners that yes, yoga is the only side effect free module application. They can stay fit at any climatic condition, any remote area. So this is the thing. And one of our colleague also went over there for collecting this data. And here you can see that the personnel who can say that yes, he can do yoga and he can stay more fit at any condition of challenging weather. So this is the thing. They can do their exercise, and when man behind the machine, then your complete meditation and control mind should be there for to take a very right decision and right time of your activity. So yoga gives that power of mental, yoga gives that power for the physical activity, and yoga gives you a good homeostasis to stay a very good way at any climatic condition. This is the thing that they do practice yoga, and that is the yoga for health promotion. We do practice in our own to give a very good output for our institute. And here also you can see that yes, this is the Siachen glacier, where I also over there to record their data level at an extreme sub-zero temperature, and our yoga instructor also giving yoga training to them. This training also we have done in collaboration with Moraji Desai, National Institute of Yoga, and CCRYN, because their expertise in training is well accepted, and we are also go through their collaborative activity in a long association, and this is the way we have doing all these things. Now here you can see that yes, yoga can be accepted for any sphere of armed forces, so that they can do well and give a very good output to the nation. And here also you can see that it can be done, and here also you can see that good way of doing yoga at any climatic condition. This is the yoga instructor of our, so he is giving parting yoga to the soldier system. And this is the main area where mental anxiety, physical fitness. Is an Air Force officer who is being training on yoga and giving the explanation. There is a Navy officer. So long isolation, we have done yoga on them also. And here you can see that yes, during our yoga training, we have done it abroad, and our honorable Prime Minister also during the visit over there has seen that yes, we are doing a very good job in yoga training in other countries also. Okay, so this is the thing that we are doing over here, and we do practice for data recording and training in a side by side way. So this is in a nutshell. We have done it over here, and now I can conclude. It is almost time over, and thank you so much for patient listening. The whole science, preventive action and promotive of yoga is a science, and we are using over it mainly 99% for preventive and promotive to stay fit body at any extreme climatic condition. Thank you, ma'am, for giving extra time. And if there is any query, so I can give you your responses or answer whatever it may be. I hope videos also run well to understand
Yes,
and
sir.
all this.
Yes, sir. It was a very good presentation indeed. Thank you so much for such an intriguing lecture. Sir, there are few questions in the comment section. If you would permit, I would like to take one or two.
Okay.
So somebody has asked which type of yoga practices can be done on high altitudes to avoid fatigue and giddiness.
We have validated one high altitude customized yoga packages, and we avoided mainly head down asanas, because cardiovascular and sympathetic activity is much more in high altitude than the sea level. We have that customized yoga module.
Sir, I would like to thank you once again for joining us today and delivering such an intriguing and informative lecture. It was so nice to have you on board. आपका बहुत धन्यवाद sir.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to share this work are being doing in our own institute for the benefit of our soldier system at any extreme climatic condition. And we do engage for validating yoga in all the time, and now also we are doing validating that how yoga could be used as a substitute for the endurance activity. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. I would also like to thank Director of MDNIY, Dr. Ishwar Basavaraddi, sir, for taking out time from his busy schedule and being with us today. Thank you so much, sir. And thank you to Communication and Documentation Officer of MDNIY. Thank you so much, sir. And thanks to our technical team for making this lecture happen. आप सभी लोगों का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. अब कार्यक्रम का समापन शांति पाठ के साथ. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you once again.
Thank you. Can I leave, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you all of your organizers, IFG, Vandana ji, and the whole organizing committee, and Director Murarji Desai. We have a long association, more than 15 years, and I do come as and when required. Just a call to me because I feel it is my own, sister institute. With respect to yoga training and yoga research, what we are doing, it is just on your support for the training purposes in collaboration with this collaborative project and all these things. So thank you, ma'am, and thank you all this.